Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, never mind.
This is Arman. He's 20 years old and a virgin. He's also my videographer. He's recorded hundreds of cold approaches for me over the last few years. A few months ago, I decided to put him in front of the camera and put his cold approach skills to the test. So today I wanted to break down his approach in depth and highlight the 5 big mistakes that you're likely making in your approaches as well that are completely destroying attraction. And if you want me to fix your cold approach mistakes, watch till the end and click the first link in the description. Starting with the first one. Uncertain tonality.
Excuse me. Hi, what's your name? Oh, nice to meet you. I stopped you because I thought you were cute. I wanted to come meet you.
Notice his tonality here is very uncertain. He says, excuse me. Hi, what's your name? Instead of saying, excuse me. Hi, what's your name? The way you open and start the conversation is going to set the tone for the rest of the interaction. So if you open in an uncertain and uncomfortable way, you're just going to project and radiate that uncertain energy, and it's going to dilute the entire interaction. A girl will follow your lead, especially if you're approaching her on the street. So the more natural, comfortable, and confident you can be in the interaction, the more comfortable she'll feel following that lead and falling into your frame.
I stopped you because I thought you were cute. I wanted to come meet you.
Notice he's laughing too when he gives the compliment. A lot of guys will laugh to diffuse tension and diffuse pressure in a conversation as a way of diffusing the own tension and discomfort they feel in themselves.
Are you Latina? Where are you from?
So good, he does a cold read early on. Notice how he's also tapping his hand. That's the second big mistake that I see a lot of guys do. It's a self-soothing body language. It's a way of soothing yourself when you're in a very uncomfortable, anxious state. The girl picks up on it. It creates more of an anxiety-inducing situation, and you really want to avoid this and have complete control over your body language. That's why it's important to just simply be where your feet are. Before going into the interaction, go in willing to accept any consequence, whether it's a little bit of weirdness or awkwardness, whether it's a rejection, or whether it's a really positive interaction. That'll make it easier for you to go in with a lot more relaxed body language.
Are you Latina?
Tapping.
Where are you from?
Hands in his pockets.
Oh, really?
Even his foot is tapping a little bit too.
Un chiquitito, pero soy un gringo. Sí.
Notice he even taps his stomach there when he makes the joke and he starts to speak Spanish, which his Spanish isn't very good. He only knows a very small amount. So he's even more uncomfortable. So he starts tapping his stomach. That's more that self-soothing body language that we really want to avoid. I mean, just look at this frame. She's completely stood up straight, completely calm and grounded, and he's tapping, has his hand on his stomach. Just compare her body language versus his. It's a night and day difference. You want your body language to be calm, relaxed, and grounded just like hers. This is the opposite of what you want to do.
Are you staying here in Miami for vacation?
No, I live here.
Oh, you live here? Oh, nice. I'm here on vacation. Yeah, I like it here.
That's where I work.
So he's actually doing a good job of not letting any awkward silences build. He is making just normal basic small talk, which you could improve. But given the situation and given he's a total beginner, this is actually not bad at all.
Yeah, I haven't been there. I've been to Moxie's, but I haven't really checked out anywhere else too much.
Notice how he's swaying a lot in his body language and she's
Oh,
not.
I went to Komodo, if you know where that is. Komodo is like a few blocks away.
Part of the same group.
Oh, really?
More
I have
tapping.
no idea. All right, well, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but do you have Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the next mistake that you see him make here is a very weak ask. He runs out of questions to ask. He already asked her where she's from, what she does for work, if she lives here, and he's already asked her ethnicity. So he's out of questions. A silence starts to build, and instead of just making another observation or doing a cold read or simply letting the silence stay for a second until something naturally comes to him, he immediately ejects from the interaction. This is a very common beginner mistake, especially a lot of introvert and shy guys tend to do, which is they quit at the first sign of resistance. As soon as something gets a little bit awkward or a little bit uncomfortable, they immediately eject from the interaction. You don't want to do this because sometimes an in-person interaction might be a little bit uncomfortable because after all, you're talking to a stranger. If you run away at the first sign of discomfort, you're going to exit from interactions far too early and miss out on tons of opportunities that could have led to phone numbers and dates. And if you want my help getting over your approach anxiety and getting into approaches that lead to phone numbers and dates with model quality women, then click the first link in the description and apply to work
work with me inside my program.
All right, well, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but do you have Instagram?
Also notice he says, I don't want to take up too much of your time, assuming the frame that he's bothering her and that her time is more valuable than his. Now, if a girl mentioned she's busy or on her way somewhere, that language would be perfectly fine. But the fact that she's literally just standing there doing nothing, she didn't mention that she has anything that's urgent, and she's not even interacting, or her body language isn't indicating urgency, means that he could have stayed there longer.
Do you have Instagram? Okay.
So notice here when she says yes to giving him the Instagram, he simply just says, okay. And that's the problem with doing a weak ask, is that when you don't have a reason for asking for the contact info, once you get it, there's not really much else to say. And then you'll see he makes another big mistake, which is he leaves a very long pause while he's getting the contact info. I mean, literally just look at how painful this is. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi,
Sorry.
9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi.
Maybe we could hang out sometime before I go back.
It's literally so silent here, you could hear a pin drop. This is why a super important tip is to make a comment or have some conversation happening when you go for the Instagram, because you don't want a long pause like this at all. It'll kill any impression you made during the approach. Typically what I'll do is I'll give a girl a compliment. I'll say, oh, I like your necklace, by the way. Oh, I like your shorts, by the way. Or, oh, I like your shirt, by the way. And then have a conversation. Or I may say, what are you doing for the rest of the day? Literally anything just to get her talking, so the transition to getting the phone number feels smooth and seamless.
I do sales for a consultant company. All right, well, it was nice to meet you. See you later.
So you see, he says, oh, maybe we can hang out sometime when he gets the number. And then she asks him what he does for work. He says what he does. And then as soon as he answers and he gets the phone number back, he goes, all right, well, nice to meet you. He runs away really fast, and he makes the next mistake, which is a very abrupt ending. The reason for this is because he thinks, oh my God, I just won. I just succeeded. Let me run away and quit while I'm ahead. This is another shy introvert guy mistake that a lot of guys tend to do. And it's because they feel like they've already accomplished something and they don't want to risk messing it up. But the fact is, this exact nervous, don't fuck it up energy is what makes the conversation awkward and uncomfortable to begin with. Now, you'll notice despite all of these mistakes he made, he was still able to get success. And if you watch some of the clips afterwards that I filmed of him, you'll know that this girl was actually an Instagram model.
First approach, 3.5 minutes in, virgin, and she already requested a follow back. That is insane. How do you feel, Arman?
Feel great, bro. I actually feel great. Oh my God.
I was literally just saying you got to follow back quick, which means there was some interest there. And we looked because I wanted to see her Instagram to see what her face looked like. This girl is literally an IG model, has 13K followers, and she followed him back off of that interaction using exactly what we teach in these videos.
And she worked at one of the trendy nightclubs there in Miami, which, if you don't know, all of the women who work there are always very attractive. So even though his interaction wasn't great, he still got the contact info, she still followed him back, and she even responded to his messages asking to hang out. This should inspire you and go to show that your approaches don't need to be perfect. They just need to be good enough. And that's because in 2025, having the ability to cold approach a woman is a real life superpower, because so few men actually have the balls to do it. While most guys are stuck on dating apps or trying to flex on Instagram, simply going up and talking to women in person is a superpower because nobody does it, so you virtually have no competition. And if you want to know exactly how to leverage this superpower for yourself, then click here to watch this video. And if you want to master your cold approaches and personally work with me to get you out into successful interactions with women you're actually attracted to, then click the first link in the description and apply to work with me inside of my private coaching program, where I'll personally help you overcome your approach anxiety and have smooth conversations that lead to phone numbers and dates.